Hello, Jamie from Inky and Scrappy, sharing with you today 15 cards I made using Hero Arts, my monthly hero kit for April 2022. My card kit probably arrived last week, Tuesday or Wednesday before Easter, and so I had kind of opened it, set it off to the side, and it's kind of what I do with these. Sometimes I get to them. I have a bunch that I need to get to. But last week I did my platform pop-up with a swivel card, and a lot of times after I do one that takes me a little bit to figure out, I just don't feel like doing anything. I wouldn't say I don't have crafty mojo, I just don't have motivation. So I was feeling that not motivated last week, and so I was like, this is one I can probably just manage because all I'm doing is putting ink through a stencil today. So I started these on Easter Sunday before going to our in-laws house, and so I was trying to ink these up really fast and I wanted to do a rainbow of colors because for Easter or for Lent I sent out a bunch of cards. That's what I don't like to give up anything for Lent. I like to do a good deed for Lent. And so that was my good deed for Lent, was sending out some random acts of kindness cards. And so I got almost everything out that I wanted to get out. I think I did my full 40. And so that was my goal. Goal was met. And so I'm kind of low on cards for random stuff or birthdays even, and so I needed to reboost my on-hand supply, shall we say. And so I was like, well, these will be perfect because they should be fairly easy and straightforward color-wise. I don't have to sit down and color. Coloring takes me forever. And so I was like, oh, I'm going to do these like I did the sunflower ones, where I just inked them through the stencil and then I lined it up later and stamped it. Pretty easy, right? Well, brain fog from vacation mode, or I don't know. Jamie slept in an extra hour on vacation and now she has to get back up at 4 a.m. and I'm just not ready for that yet. It's been a week and a half and I'm still not ready for that yet. It's a work in progress. So I inked up probably 4 of these before we left. I had used the rose madder and the cotton candy and the green apple, and then I started by taking out some of my close to my heart ink colors. This one is in cranberry, and I'm pretty sure I just used the cranberry and then just went over it with a heavier hand the second time on this one. I did not write down my colors that I used. I can probably tell you which ones they were if there's a certain one that you liked, but I don't even know if they carry those colors anymore. So on my way to my in-laws, which is like a 7-minute drive, I realized, yeah, you see that one? That this isn't a clear stamp set. This is red rubber. You're not going to be able to line it up like you could the one from last fall. And so when I got home, I ended up stamping a whole bunch, the rest of my pile that I was going to do. And then I ink blended with the things on top. So I'm going to come in, I'm going to do all my bumblebees or color all of my bumblebees, and then I'm going to play. So this is the one that was almost in the wastebasket. Like, I stamped it, saw how far off it was, and I was like, yeah, I'm just going to throw it away. And I thought, well, let's see if I can save it with some background stamp. So I did a red rubber script background stamp from Hero Arts over the top of that one. I think this is the one that was off just a little bit. So I had lined it up in my MISTI, stamping it on a clear sheet and then trying to line up that underneath. But because it's red rubber and I couldn't put it right next to the corner, yeah, it was just beyond my brain capacity for the week after I got back from vacation and was overtired and my allergies were kicking my butt. Yeah. maybe if I'd had been well rested and thinking straight, it wouldn't have been so bad. So the two that I didn't actually stamp the outline on, I went in with a honeybee stamp that has the bee, and so I stamped the bee on these and then colored in that bee instead of doing the outline, just to give them, fill in some of those spots there, but not having to worry about totally messing up my lines. I'd also thought about stamping over it in like a green or a light gray to add in that rust, the actual stamp for those. And I just decided, it'll give it a little bit different of a look. And so I really just played with my panels. I think I ended up with 8 total panels. 2 of them were the smaller ones because I think I did 2 6x6 panels possibly. And so I had cut off those ones and just used that little piece for a little panel, and my idea was that I was going to actually just use those to cut out the little, because there's 3 die cuts with the set that die cuts 1 flower, the 1 double flower, and then 1 bee. And I just was like, I kind of liked how it turned out, and so I didn't use it for that. And so I was like, well, I ended up using the whole panels for them. So I'm pretty sure I had 8. I didn't count when I went through the pile earlier. So here I was just adding some Brutus Monroe liquid or aqua pigments with the pearl in them. So I used the purple frost and the blue frost for the purple and the blue one. I used the red frost for the red and pink tone ones. If I used this one on it, I used some Tim Holtz mica spray stains, I think. And then I just cut out, once those were all dry, and I had gone in with that script stamp in River Rock, I think it was Lawn Fawn River Rock, for a nice gray tone there, and just kind of added that haphazardly throughout. And the gems on these were from the Hero Hues. Those came with that kit. And then I was just busy, just doing them up. So I had die cut everything shape-wise out of either Trinity stamps. I think I did their slimline, their mini slim stack, and I used a couple of different ones from Lawn Fawn's stitch stack. And then it was just a matter of, putting them onto card bases and adding sentiment. And so I shopped my massive stash for like big, bold sentiments, different, everything and anything. I was going through embossing powders. My countertop, if you follow me on Instagram, I did share the story of my desk space. When I was about halfway through, I still had my full-size panels to do yet, and my desk was just a mess. Like, I had stuff everywhere because I used a whole bunch of different sets, and so I had buckets out of different stamp companies. Yeah, it was a wreck. And the best part was I couldn't find the stamp set that came with the Hero Art set for the amazing one. And so I ended up cleaning most of it off before I found that set. It was just tucked along the side. It was, how you're looking for something forever and you can't find it? Yeah. It's usually how my desk gets cleaned off. That's how I roll. I did use a lot of the ink road stamps because I was kind of feeling sassy, so don't let the bastards get you down. And the inside of this one has something equally as sassy, probably a little bit more in the bomb dropping of swear words on the inside of that one. And so I'm sure it will be one that gets sent to my sister because, she gets me. please don't yell at me, I'll cry. That's how we roll, right? So I just trimmed off. I just kind of went through and did whatever my little heart felt like doing for each of them. They're all kind of, just put together on the fly. I would say total, I probably spent about 6-ish hours total from start to finish on all of them. My camera times out at 30 minutes. So if I was not paying attention, I missed a lot of film time for these. I think I ended up with like an hour and a half of actual film footage. And I missed a lot of just film time because, I was just busy doing my thing. And some of them I would think I was done and I would set them off to the side because I knew they needed something yet, like this one here. I did add the bling already and I just set it off because I was like not in love with it. And it happens. So here are all 15 of them. So have an amazing Mother's Day. The sentiments on this one were actually included in the kit. I did add some glittericles to the bee wings. And then I used to be cool, but now just argue with a smaller version of myself on how to use the toilet. And hashtag mom life, I think it says on the inside. And this one, the amazing on here is done with some thick embossing powder because it was still on my desk from the last time I used it. And the amazing on this one is with some Tim Holtz black metallic cardstock. All of those are fairly similar in nature. One of them has a popped up rose on it. I think that was the yellow one. And I'm sorry, my camera was not wanting to focus on this one or these ones forever. Friendly reminder, when you bury a body, be sure to cover it with exotic plants or endangered plants so it can't be dug up. And then thanks for everything. And this one I just did glossy accent on the bee wings and I popped up a couple bees. So I die cut them out and popped them up. And then this is another one that did not have that outline stamp. So it's a softer, I think it's a softer look when it doesn't have that outline stamp. And I double stamped, or I did a stamp. And so second generation stamping on the bee for that one. And so it gives it kind of a no line coloring look because that's kind of what that one kind of looked like. And here's that panel that I almost threw away. It looks amazing on a card. I really do love how it ended up turning out. And I did end up adding the hello to this one with some vellum behind the hello. The hello was from the Hero Arts monthly one that had the sunflower in. I don't remember, October maybe, September, somewhere in there. This one, I'm pretty sure the happy birthday is an MFT happy birthday sentiment dynamic. And yeah, it did not want to focus. This is the one where I had taken all of my scraps that I was going to throw away and added them onto a piece of copy paper and cut out a panel from it. So it's multicolored and it doesn't match, but it looks kind of cool. And so I did distressed glossy accents on the happy birthday, and then I sprinkled chunky glitter on top of that so it's extra sparkly. And this one is another one of the ones I just added. The bee popped up, and the sentiment happy birthday comes from a Colorado Craft Company set. And the Never Stop Exploring is from the Tim Holtz Tiny Text. I have a whole bunch of those stamped out and already on little pre-done flag banners. You are sweet as honey. Happy Bee Day. That one comes from Hero Arts. No, that one came from, Honeybee. And this one, the sentiment on this one, looking good, birthday girl, considering your age and everything, and hope you can stay up past your bedtime, is from My Favorite Things. Don't Let the Bastards Get You Down is from The Ink Road. and my rainbow one, which I really do love that rainbow look, so I'm going to have to try it again. And that hello is the same one I'd used earlier with some glitter cardstock. And then the blue here was a smaller panel. And so that one has some of the gems from Trinity Stamps on it. And I think that's about it. So there are all 15 of those cards. So all similar, but very different in, how they ended up turning out. So I do love all of them. I wouldn't say equally because that top one is probably my favorite color combo, but I'm a blue and green girl, so it's kind of how I roll. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed.